What would you say to your wife if she doesn't believe she is beautiful? She is fully convinced I think she's beautiful. Good job, dude. Knows she is my sole source of sexual pleasure and intimacy. Good job, bro. But thinks I'm biased. Well, of course he is. How do I convince her God made her objectively beautiful? Okay.
Interesting.
What would you say to your wife if she doesn't believe she's beautiful? She is fully convinced I think she's beautiful, knows she is my sole source of sexual pleasure and intimacy, but thinks I am biased. How do I convince her God made her objectively beautiful? So that question is, well, I guess it could be to you. It's a husband.
Well, I mean, I guess I have a couple thoughts, but I think you would be a better responder. But it's like, well, first of all, believe your husband when he tells you that you're beautiful, which it sounds like maybe she does. And then don't be worried about what the world thinks about whether or not you're beautiful. Objectively beautiful sounds to me like she wonders if everybody else thinks she's beautiful.
Yeah.
To which I would say, actually, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And there should be great joy in the fact that the only person in the world that it really should matter to, he thinks you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's desiring you. So
That's
don't
good.
get caught up in looking to the rest of the world to be, I don't know if you're not getting affirmed enough. I mean, obviously she is because her husband has told her that she's beautiful, but it's like, then stop looking other places.
Yeah.
Because that's going to get you in trouble.
Yep.
If you're thinking you got to look somewhere else. If he tells you that he thinks you're beautiful and he loves you and your body just the way it is and he loves all these features about you, that needs to be enough.
Yeah.
And that should be enough for it to be just the most awesome relationship, in your sexual intimacy. It's like, it sounds like there's a looking to other places.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that it's designed this way on purpose, that your husband would think you're the most beautiful thing in the world. You don't need Joe Blow down the road to think you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be a problem if that was the case and he was telling you so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
That's my first gut response to that.
Part of what I would tell the husband is I think you should, have her listen to this and hopefully it will encourage her, but disciple her through
it's good.
What is objective beauty in relationship to your looks? I mean, is there even such a thing? I mean, from culture to culture, some cultures it's thin, some cultures it's more voluptuous and fat, we'd call it. Some is short, some is tall, some is braided hair, some is curly hair, some is dark skin, light skin. I mean, what is quote unquote objective beauty? She is his standard of beauty.
Yeah.
And he's into what she is. And so I think I would agree with you. I would want to press down on her definition of objective beauty. And it sounds like she has a picture in her mind of what she thinks objective beauty is, which isn't objective. It's totally subjective based on maybe something that was given her as a kid. A dad said something hurtful, maybe just in passing, but it's just locked in her mind. I need to be that to be beautiful, or who knows where it's coming from, or airbrushed images she's seen on Instagram, whatever. But like if your husband is into you as his wife, and the question says she knows that she's my sole source of sexual pleasure and intimacy, and I think she's beautiful, but she thinks I'm biased. Hey, sweetheart, that's the point.
Yeah.
What would you want? To be objectively beautiful to John Doe and your husband not think you're beautiful?
Yeah.
This is backwards thinking. This needs to be gently corrected and or rebuked over time. If she doesn't, because there's something in her mind and heart that she's not living up to.
Yeah.
It's a standard apart from what God has said she should live up to. It's like, should a woman care for herself? So her husband, yes. And this self-care, it's very important to be beautiful for your husband in a non-performative, loving, servant-oriented way. You're not just letting yourself go.
Right.
You're taking care of yourself because that's important to you. It's important to me. And I love you and think you're beautiful just the way you are. And so there's some weird standard in her head that she's calling objective, but it's really subjective because it's her own standard she's not living up to.
Yeah.
And then I'll just tell her over time, it'll frustrate your husband. He's like, no, now you're putting down what I love.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you you're beautiful. And if a wife doesn't believe her husband, that can be very discouraging and off-putting for a husband.
Well, and I think this would be a really great spot for a husband to exercise just his headship and discernment of his wife. I think we've talked about this many times, but just like the more emotional side of a woman and sometimes things that we hear and see, and the propensity of women to be more comparison oriented, like to look at things and be like, well, I'm not like that and I'm not like that. He probably likes that. And instead of listening to the wisdom of her husband and believing what he says and him leading her in that, she's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like there's a disrespect there that's happening to what her husband is saying to her. And so in some ways it's like, men, like, get in the game. Babe, what are you filling your mind with during the day? Who are you talking to? Who are her friends? What is she reading? What is she looking at? What is she intaking throughout the day that's changing that part about her brain to think that she's not beautiful to you? Like she is listening to lies from somewhere, because that's not the way God designed it to be.
Yeah, I mean, if a husband was telling his wife she's beautiful and she's convinced he believes it and she's convinced that he's sexually faithful to her,
and sexually satisfied by her,
still doesn't feel beautiful, like there's something off there. I mean, I would. So she's saying, okay, well, you're biased, but I'm not objectively beautiful. Then, ironically, she has a standard of beauty in her mind that isn't objective. It's subjective to her own standard. But secondly, God gives a woman a definition of beauty that is objective. And it's not her hair and the braids and the jewelry and the stuff. It's inner beauty, godliness, quiet spirit, submissive spirit to her husband, an insatiable passion for Jesus and the Word, and love for God, a deep hope for God. These things are what make a woman beautiful. And so it feels like there could be a bit of an unhelpful fixation with objective external beauty. She's being affirmed by her husband that she's beautiful. And God called her to cultivate an inner beauty of character. Receive your husband's affirmation and cultivate inner beauty, and you're good to go, sweetheart. Like, stop looking at the scale or the color of hair or whatever and chasing some standard of beauty that your husband may not even like want. You know what I mean? Like I mean, we meet with a lot of women whose husbands don't make them feel beautiful. That's a different kind of tragedy. Sweetheart, you have a husband who loves you. Like, receive that. Receive that. Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, you can click here to listen to the full podcast, or click in the link below and go wherever you listen to podcasts. And we're here, we're there, we're everywhere. Hopefully you can find us. And if you'd like some more free resources, you can head to StrongerManNation.com.